A Florida man now sits behind bars accused of brutally murdering his girlfriend, concealing her body in a suitcase, and then being shot during his capture. I will guide you through the chilling timeline of this grisly murder. Welcome to my channel. I am Anshuet Levy. This case is profoundly tragic. What began as a routine wellness check on 41-year-old Jorge Cantero in Orange County, Florida, quickly escalated into a multi-state murder investigation unfolding at a harrowing pace. Jorge Cantero and his girlfriend, 29-year-old Carmen Elsa Escalante, seemed to share a happy relationship. Known as Carmen Escalante, she and Jorge were preparing to embark on a new chapter together. Yet the story took a devastating and horrifying turn. Jorge Cantero now faces charges of first-degree murder and fraud. More details will follow. This case twists and turns. Let's unravel it carefully. On October 29th, just after dawn, detectives learned that Jorge Cantero had sent disturbing suicidal texts to friends and family. One friend, alarmed, went to check on him, but Jorge was nowhere to be found. Nearby at the Madison at Waterford Lakes apartment complex, investigators discovered multiple handwritten notes resembling suicide letters. Security footage revealed a male figure leaving the back door, climbing into a white truck and driving off around 7:30 that morning. After interviewing friends and family, investigators confirmed Jorge planned to move into an apartment with Carmen Escalante. Authorities searched the upscale Orange County complex to find Jorge and assess his welfare. What they found was a scene stained with blood. Detectives described blood splattered on walls, soaked towels, and personal items belonging to Carmen, including her wallet and keys. A missing persons detective arrived to search for clues about Jorge's whereabouts. He documented large pools of blood in the bathtub, the bloody knife-soaked clothing, the notes, and Jorge's phone resting on the tub's edge. Jorge's phone was still powered on receiving calls and messages. Forensic analysis confirmed male DNA in the blood at the home, while the blood in the apartment belonged to a female. At that point, neither Jorge Cantero nor Carmen Escalante could be reached. Detectives later discovered the last time Carmen was seen alive with Jorge was on Sunday, October 27th at a Wawa, where they appeared affectionate. The following morning, they left together in Jorge's white rental truck. Phone records placed Carmen's device in Seminole County, Georgia on October 29th around 1:30 p.m. Carmen's bank activity led police to a Chevron gas station where she made two purchases near 10:48 p.m., revealing a dark turn. Affidavit details describe the surveillance footage. It shows Jorge Cantero using Carmen's phone for transactions, yet Carmen herself does not appear at the checkout. Jorge is seen clutching a blue cloth to his neck as if nursing an injury. 2 days later, U.S. Marshals tracked Jorge Cantero to his rental truck in Saraland, Alabama. During the arrest, Marshals fired shots wounding Jorge. He survived and was rushed to the hospital. Inside the truck, investigators found long strands of hair, likely belonging to a female, along with suspected blood. But the ominous human-shaped bag once seen in the truck was gone. Authorities launched a search along a 7-mile stretch of Highway 84. 3 hours later, police discovered a suitcase and a plastic bag containing human remains in Seminole County, Georgia. The suitcase bore Carmen Escalante's name tag alongside rosary beads, 2 men's wristwatches, and a rental vehicle key fob. The autopsy revealed Carmen had been strangled to death. She was found nude with a power cord tightly wrapped around her neck. Her right arm had been severed and placed separately in a heavy-duty plastic bag. Her left arm and left leg showed signs of attempted dismemberment, but the process was unfinished. Blunt force trauma was evident on the right side of her face. Investigators believe Jorge strangled Carmen at their apartment, dismembered her, then abandoned her remains by the roadside. The horrific allegations underscore the crucial need to truly know those closest to you. I searched Jorge Cantero's name on TruthFinder.com to uncover more about this man. Dave Ehrenberg is the state attorney for Palm Beach County. The investigation took a significant turn when a search for Jorge Cantero's name surfaced on TruthFinder.com. Dave Ehrenberg, the state attorney for Palm Beach County, made it clear he was not part of the prosecution team handling this case. His role remained separate from the legal pursuit of justice here. Under close scrutiny, it became evident that Jorge Cantero had unwittingly left a digital trail. The Orange County Sheriff's Office traced his movements through license plate readers and cell phone pings. This technology not only revealed his whereabouts, but also tragically led authorities to the location where Carmen Elsa Escalante's lifeless body was found. As the grim discovery unfolded, Jeanette recounted the horrifying condition of the victim whose body had been savagely mutilated. She died from asphyxiation, a method often linked to crimes of passion. All evidence points squarely to Jorge Cantero as the perpetrator. The only avenue for Jorge Cantero to avoid the death penalty might be through a plea deal. Whether prosecutors will pursue the death penalty remains to be seen. The allegations in this case are nothing short of horrifying. Blood was found not only at his home but also in the apartment where the couple planned to start a new life together. What stands out most painfully is that on the evening of October 27th, surveillance caught them together at a Wawa store appearing normal and untroubled. The following morning, October 28th, they were seen leaving the house in a rental truck still together. Nothing seemed out of place until that horrific scene unfolded on the 29th. Something devastating happened in the hours between. It remains unclear if Carmen was attempting to end the relationship or cancel their move. Her belongings remained in the apartment, but all signs point to a domestic incident. Strangulation is often a hallmark of domestic violence, homicides. The most dangerous moment in an abusive relationship is often when one person tries to leave. Though this was a relatively new relationship, they had recently moved in together and something clearly went terribly wrong. Besides the knife and bloodied clothes, investigators found bloody towels and blood splatters staining the walls, mounting evidence of a violent struggle. DNA evidence surely corroborated the scene. Surveillance footage captured Jorge Cantero near the rental truck registered in his name mere minutes before their arrival. He was seen leaving in that truck, and when law enforcement caught up to him, a deadly shootout ensued, an unmistakable sign of consciousness of guilt. He fired upon the police during the traffic stop. This violent resistance only added to the damning evidence. Though they did not find Carmen's body with Jorge Cantero during the stop, it was later discovered hidden in a suitcase beside the road. The horrific reality of how her life ended is almost unbearable to fathom. Any jury presented with this case would be predisposed against him, and it's likely he will seek a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. Jorge Cantero also faces charges of fraud. He was caught on camera at a gas station using Carmen Elsa Escalante's cell phone to purchase items after her body had been dismembered and discarded. According to the affidavit, this fraudulent activity adds another layer to the case against him. It's a critical piece of the mounting evidence. He retained possession of her cell phone after her disappearance while the device's pings traced his movements along the interstate. This technology was instrumental in tracking him down, and the fraudulent use of her phone and credit card bolstered the homicide investigation. When asked about the role of license plate reader and cell phone technology in law enforcement, Dave Ehrenberg reflected on their transformative impact. He described how these advancements have revolutionized murder investigations, making it far easier to piece together suspects' movements. He called it a true game changer. Many in communities like Jeanette remain unaware of the law enforcement breakthroughs in tracking suspects, still believing criminals can outrun justice. Yet the reality is people carry trackers on their bodies at all times, their cell phones. With license plate readers and widespread cameras, including Ring doorbells, it has become nearly impossible for criminals to disappear. DNA technology only adds to this arsenal. While many know of some tools, few grasp how difficult it is to evade capture today. These methods have tightened the net around lawbreakers. The case of Brian Kohberger illustrates this well. Fascinated by crime, he underestimated modern tracking technology. He apparently failed to comprehend the power of cell phone tracking technology law enforcement employs daily. Such tools remain mostly unspoken of to keep criminals at bay. Yet suspects continue to use their phones, make ATM withdrawals, all under surveillance. With cameras and license plate readers everywhere, law enforcement now holds a significant advantage. The rapid pinging of license plate readers can pinpoint locations swiftly. Combined with cell phone signals, these technologies paint a detailed map of suspects' movements. Dave Ehrenberg found the license plate reader technology particularly fascinating, given its ability to track vehicles in near real time. The police rely heavily on these tools alongside cell phone pings. The crime itself is deeply tragic. Very little is known about Carmen Elsa Escalante. She left almost no social media footprint. The only information available from the Gun Violence Memorial describes her as a teacher, but records about her life remain scarce. It's heartbreaking that so little about her is revealed. Those who might have known her in the community have remained tight-lipped, preserving the mystery surrounding who Carmen truly was. In the courtroom, prosecutors are determined to breathe life into the victim's memory, ensuring she is not reduced to a mere statistic or an anonymous name. This contrasts with the defense, which often tries to keep the victim faceless and forgotten. Only one person physically occupies that courtroom, the defendant. The victim is gone, no longer present, and sometimes the case risks losing the human element amid this absence. Yet this woman, Carmen Elsa Escalante, had family and friends who loved her deeply, and that truth will emerge despite her lack of social media presence. It's important to clarify her life mattered profoundly. Soon her story will reveal the impact she had on those around her. Indeed, it is tragic that there isn't even a photograph to honor her memory, a silence that weighs heavily on all involved. Meanwhile, Jorge Cantero, the accused, retains the constitutional rights afforded to every citizen. Though presumed innocent until proven guilty, the sheriff's office appears to hold a mountain of damning evidence linking him to this brutal crime. Surveillance footage, blood evidence, and suicide notes left behind paint a grim picture of his involvement. Adding to this, a violent confrontation with law enforcement in Saraland, Alabama, culminated in U.S. Marshals shooting him during their pursuit. This encounter with the Marshals underscores the severity and chaos surrounding this case. It is without doubt a terrible and harrowing affair. A difficult question looms: should the death penalty be pursued in a case described as a crime of passion? This debate hinges on the nature and severity of the crime itself. The deciding factor lies in whether aggravating circumstances are present, whether the murder was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. The discovery of Carmen's body revealed a power cord tightly wrapped around her neck. She was found naked, her body dismembered. These brutal details paint a picture of extreme hate and cruelty. Such savagery is a strong indicator of the aggravating factors required to consider the death penalty. Only one aggravating factor is necessary to qualify, and this case appears to meet that threshold. Moreover, the presence of another crime fraud suggests possible financial motives behind the murder. These layers of criminality compound the severity, making this case a prime candidate for capital punishment consideration. All factors point toward the possibility of the death penalty. It is clear this case will be scrutinized heavily with that in mind. As the investigation unfolds, the hope remains to learn more about Carmen Escalante's life, even as Jorge Cantero remains charged with first-degree murder in the Orange County Jail. This is a case marked by horror and tragedy. State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg offered his insights, underscoring the gravity of the situation. With gratitude, Anne Chouette-Levy thanked him for his time and expertise. This episode of my channel comes to a close with Anne Chouette-Levy expressing thanks to the audience. She promised to return with more in the next installment.